Hello students, I will be covering the iron kinetic topic of week 3 and our outline for today, we will try to explore and understand the following. The normal levels of iron and its compartments, function, iron kinetics, no? Ano ibig sabihin ng kinetics? Anong ginagawa ng katawan dun sa iron molecules na pinapasok natin sa katawan natin through supplements and food. And then iron regulation, the laboratory assessments, and uh, we will give you an overview of the iron deficiency anemia. Where can we locate the iron molecules in our body? So we have three metabolic compartments. These are functional, storage, and transport compartments. In functional compartment, no, dito makikita yung activated form in which the iron will do its designated role. So dito makikita yung malaking percentage of iron molecules sa body. Biggest specifically in hemoglobin found inside the RBCs. Okay? Meron din tayong other form of iron found in the muscle cells called your myoglobin naman. In storage compartment, it stores the inactivated form called your ferritin and hemosiderin. These are present in almost all cells except mature RBCs. Okay? And then, ito rin, no, it is important in terms of supplying the demand of iron in our body. Kapag malaki ang demand, no, mako-convert or dadalhin ito to the functional compartment to be used for its designated roles. In transport compartment naman, by the name itself, it helps to transport iron from the storage compartment going to the functional compartment to storage compartment and vice versa. No? Depende kung ano ang level ng iron mo sa katawan. So, ang transport protein natin for iron is called transferrin na makikita sa plasma. Okay, one of the board exam recall questions, no, the past few years natanong ito, the majority of the iron in the blood is found where? So, ano ang answer natin dito? The answer should be letter C, hemoglobin, which comprises almost 69% of the total iron content in our body. Okay, we talked earlier about the activated form, correct? So one of the most important role of iron is its ability to destroy free radicals. And this process is what you call Fenton reaction. It is the process by which the iron will undergo reduction and oxidation. Okay? In order for the iron to do this task, it should be in ferrous state or reduced state, or in this written in this manner, no? Fe2+. Okay? So kapag na-meet ni ferrous state yung mga free radicals, example ng mga yan ay hydrogen peroxide. So kapag na-meet niya yan, it will be broken down into safer molecules, no? Hindi na sila harmful sa mga cells. So ito yung ferric state of iron and hydroxide molecules, which can be used to other biochemical processes inside our body. So kapag tatandaan lang natin, no, yung activated form natin is ferrous state. Kapag inactivated, ferric state, no, or oxidized, or Fe3+. Okay, let's proceed now with the iron kinetics. Again, ano ibig sabihin ng kinetics? Anong ginagawa ng katawan dun sa iron? na tinitake natin every day. So, first, no, yung absorption. Paano na-absorb yung iron sa ating katawan? So, specifically, in the duodenum level, no, with the help of these receptors named DMT1 and ferroportin. Okay? And then, once absorbed, it will be transported to your plasma, no? Using the transport protein called transferrin. And kapag nasa loob sila ng transferrin, it is in ferric state or oxidized state or Fe3+. If ready na sila ma-utilize or gamitin, it will be converted into ferrous state or reduced state or Fe2+. And then this iron is important to be incorporated inside the RBCs to form your heme. Okay? So bago ma-form ang heme, ang ferrous form will bound to your or will bind to your protoporphyrin to form the heme of your hemoglobin. So we have forms of two storage form of your iron kapag hindi ginagamit. Okay? Or kapag meron kang sobrang molecules. So, number 1, ferritin, which is water-soluble form. Ang hemosiderin naman, water-insoluble form. So, ano pang ibang differences nila? No? Yung ferritin, dahil water-soluble form siya, makikita yan readily sa ating dugo, no? Sa blood. Ang hemosiderin naman, dahil water-insoluble yan, nasa-stock yan sa organs natin, no? Pwede yan sa liver, pwede rin yan sa spleen. Okay? Pagdating naman sa sobrang levels of iron, pwede natin yan ilabas sa katawan natin through excretion. Approximately 1 to 2 milligrams of iron can be excreted, no? Not only in urine or feces but also sa pawis or sweat. Okay? And pwede rin tayong mag-recycle. Okay? Hepcidin, which is formed by the liver, is responsible for the recycling of iron. No? Paano yan ginagawa? Kapag mataas na ang iron mo sa katawan, no? No need na for recycling. So therefore, bababa si hepcidin. But in cases of low iron levels, dito papasok si hepcidin. Tataas yung levels ng hepcidin, therefore controlling the absorption and excretion of the iron. So for students who are good with pictures, this is an image which best depicts the whole iron kinetics. So start tayo sa absorption. No, absorption, saan nangyayari? Sa duodenum with the help of the receptors called DMT1 and your ferroportin. So dito sa picture lang na to, no, ferroportin, pero actually we have two receptors for iron absorption. So after absorption, it will go to your plasma and it will be carried by your transferrin. There are two possible pathways kung saan siya pwedeng pumunta. The majority of the iron molecules will go to the bone marrow to be incorporated into the RBCs, or it can be excreted, no, through sweat, urine, or feces. So after ma-utilize ang iron to become hemoglobin, no, ma-incorporate yan sa ating RBCs. When RBCs die, their iron content will be eaten by the macrophages found in the spleen. It will be converted into inactivated form. Hindi lang ako sure kung malinaw, no? Fe3+, no? Ferric form or oxidized form. And this can be stored as ferritin sa plasma or hemosiderin sa mga organs. And when needed, these stores can be released back to the plasma, transported by the transferrin, and will go to the bone marrow again, no, to be utilized for the hemoglobin production. So, paikot-ikot lang yan. Now, kung marami ng iron molecules, no, na na-absorb ng iyong duodenum, sumusobra din yung iron stores mo. No, umaapaw na yung iron sa plasma. Dito papasok si hepcidin. Hepcidin again, which is formed by the liver, will signal the to stop, no? Kaya siya negative sign, no? To stop the release of iron stores back to the plasma. And additionally, at the same time, hepcidin will also signal the ferroportin in the duodenum to stop naman the absorption. Therefore, the oversupply of iron in the plasma will be controlled. So, sa mga students naman na hindi sanay sa picture, no, meron tayong textual discussion naman. So, for the iron regulation again, no, when iron stores are increased, no, therefore, the plasma levels of iron will also increase. This will induce the hepcidin production by the liver. So, again, yung hepcidin mo will deactivate the release of iron from the splenic macrophages or the absorption of the iron by the enterocytes inside the duodenum. Okay, so wala ngayon iron absorption and walang recycling na mangyayari para hindi masyadong umapaw yung iron levels mo sa plasma. So, baliktarin naman natin yung situation. Kapag mababa naman yung iron stores, mababa masyado ang iron sa plasma, magsa-stop na ngayon ang hepcidin production. So, therefore, it will continue the iron absorption in the duodenum by the enterocytes, no? And it will enhance further, no, yung release or the recycling of iron by the splenic macrophages. So, tatandaan nyo lang lagi, baligtad ang nangyayari sa hepcidin and iron. Pag tumataas si iron, bumababa si hepcidin. Pag mababa ang iron levels mo, tumataas ang hepcidin. Okay, let's proceed now with the laboratory assessment of iron status of our body. So, meron tayong iba't ibang test na pwedeng gamitin, no? Para ma-determine anong ang pinaka-problem regarding sa iron metabolism ng pasyente. So, unang-una dyan, ang serum iron na directly measures the levels of iron bound to transferrin in the serum. So, yung free na iron sa ating plasma or serum, yun yung dinidetect ng serum iron. No? And then, next naman, TIBC or the total iron binding capacity. It is an indirect measure. Okay? And pag sinabi natin indirect measure, you expect an opposite results. Kapag mataas si iron, mababa si TIBC. Pag mababa si iron, mataas si TIBC. So, ano ang principle ba behind this test? So, halimbawa, itong mga black with red dot, ito yung mga transferrin natin, and yung Fe molecule, yun yung iron. So, again, the transferrin is the transport iron. So, meron siyang binding capacity, no? Meron siyang capacity to bound or to bind the iron. Okay? So, ano ngayon ang minimeasure ng TIBC? Ang minimeasure niya ay yung mga transferrin na walang dalang iron. So therefore, kung wala kang masyadong iron sa katawan, no, low ang levels ng iron mo, mas maraming ganitong form. Therefore, mas mataas ang TIBC. Baligtad, okay? Mas mataas na iron, mababang TIBC. Pag mababa ang iron, mataas ang TIBC. Another iron test is serum ferritin. Again, ferritin is one of the storage form of iron. So, pwede mo rin ito i-test to identify if saan mababa, no? Sa storage area ba, no? Sa functional area ba yung mababa na iron para malaman mo kung ano ang nababagay na management or treatment sa patient. The next test naman is a calculated test, no? The transferrin saturation. Bakit siya calculated? Kasi kukunin mo lang yung data ng serum iron and TIBC. So, imumultiply mo yung serum iron by 100 over TIBC. And percentage ang units mo. Okay? Next naman, STFR. Soluble transferrin receptors. So, ano ba ang tinetest natin sa assessment na to? Okay, for iron to enter inside the erythroid precursors, no, to form eventually your hemoglobin, it requires the transferrin receptors na nasa kulay orange na to. Okay? Yung transferrin natin will bind to these receptors, then delivers the iron molecules inside the cell. So, ganyan nagtatrabaho yung mga transferrin receptors. In cases of low iron level, the cell will increase the transferrin receptors para mas maraming transferrin ang makakapag-bind para mas maraming ma-deliver na iron papasok sa cell. Therefore, the number of your transferrin receptors will provide us information regarding the state of iron level. No? If the iron levels are low, mas marami ang transferrin receptors. Ang makakapag-bind lang sa transferrin receptors natin ay yung mga transferrin na may iron molecules na kasama. Okay? So, kapag walang masyadong iron, okay, maraming free na transferrin, pero itong free transferrin na to, hindi naman niya magagamit yung nagawang extra transferrin receptors ng mga cells. So, yung STFR, ang i-check niya or ang bibilangin niya ay yung mga hindi nagamit na transferrin receptors. So, again, no, the STFR will measures the transferrin receptors that are not used, no, due to the low levels of iron. Next naman, STFR over the log of ferritin. Another calculated assessment, no? Saan natin to pwedeng gamitin? It improves the differentiation of ACI from IDA. So, anong ibig sabihin ng ACI? ACI stands for anemia of chronic inflammation, while your IDA, no, iron deficiency anemia. Marami tayong conditions that can cause anemia but cannot prove na solely iron lang ang problema. Ibig sabihin nito, no, halimbawa may kidney problem tayo, no, that can cause anemia, hindi lang iron ang kailangan ng pasyente but also further management of the kidney problem. Okay? So ACI needs further investigation. Why is there an ongoing anemia in a particular patient, no? In contrast with IDA na very direct to the point, iron ang problema, no? Yung ECI naman, mas marami pa palang problema. Ang problem kasi natin sa other clinics, no, pag may anemia na, bigay lang ng bigay ng iron without investigating kung ano ang nagkakos, no, ng main problem ng patient. Baka may bigger problem pa pala na kailangan i-resolve right away or concurrently with the anemia, ongoing anemia. The next test is called free erythroid protoporphyrin or FEP. Okay? The increased levels of this provide us an assumption that there is a low level of iron. No? Pwede rin siya magbigay ng assumption na mayroong problem with the heme metabolism. So, balikan natin itong pathway ng ating heme synthesis. Okay? So, punta tayo dun sa last step natin before the development of the heme. So, in order to form your heme, no, kailangan ng protoporphyrin and kung makikita nyo, no, yung iron natin in ferrous state. Okay? Ano ang check ng FEP, no? The free erythrocyte protoporphyrin. Yung free protoporphyrin na yon, no, the protoporphyrin form without the iron level, no? Kapag walang iron, no, aapaw or magkakaroon tayo ng increased levels of free protoporphyrin. Therefore, magbibigay ng information sa atin na mababa yung iron ng pasyente. Another assumption that this test can provide is baka may problema sa enzyme called ferrochelatase. Ferrochelatase, no, it is the main enzyme that binds the protoporphyrin to your iron. So pwedeng normal yung iron mo, no? Normal yung levels ng iron mo, pero wala ka na produce na heme. Dahil pala dun sa defects of this enzyme. In other books, no, nice to know that FEP is also written as zinc protoporphyrin test. Okay, nice to know lang. So the last test naman, no, Prussian blue stain. This staining test, no, or method is used to determine the iron status inside your bone marrow. So ano ang ating specimen, no? A bone marrow aspirate. Okay? Actually, this is the gold standard, no, of all the iron assessment na nasabi ko. Kasi it directly explore, no, the functional compartment ng iron natin na makikita sa ating bone marrow. So, ganito natin makikita yung slide na nag-undergo ng Prussian blue staining method. So, from the name, no, blue yung makikita nating nagbo-blue yung iron molecules using this method. Okay? Pag masyadong maraming blue yan, ibig sabihin nag-iron overload yung pasyente, no? Masyadong madaming iron sa katawan. Okay? Pag walang masyadong blue, iron deficiency naman. Okay, this is to give an overview of this illness, no? The iron deficiency anemia. There are actually 4 mechanisms on how you can develop this deficiency. So, una, inadequate intake from your food. Okay? Number 2, madalas sa mga pregnant women kasi mataas ang demand nila for iron. There is an increased need for iron supplementation from food and from tablets. Okay? Kaya makikita nyo yung mga pregnant kailangan naka-iron sila all throughout their pregnancy. Number 3, impaired absorption. Ano ulit ang site of absorption of your iron? Nasa duodenum. Okay, may problem ka sa duodenum mo, no? Or may problem regarding dun sa receptors found in the duodenum. And lastly, the chronic blood loss, which is one of the most common mechanism of iron deficiency. So, halimbawa, darating si patient, no? We can have an initial guess kung bakit nagkakaroon ng IDA ang pasyente, no? Halimbawa, in an adult male, no, you have to investigate further ano yung nagko-cause ng chronic blood loss. And most common na cause nila ay colon cancer. So you have to investigate, no, for this type of cancer among adult males. Kapag adult females naman, no, baka sa lakas na menstruation. Okay? And then you can refer them to an OB-GYN for further investigation. And sa bata naman, no, most of the time parasitic infection. And ang parasite na mas marami yung iron loss sa pasyente, no? Hookworm, mas matakaw sila sa iron, no? Mas matakaw silang mag-absorb ng blood from its host. Okay? So tatandaan niyo 'yan, mas marami silang mas prone sa anemia kapag merong hookworm infection. And among children din, no, makikita nyo rin itong symptom na to, no. It's a board exam mask, no, pakilagyan ng star, okay? Pika, okay. Ano ibig sabihin ng pika? It is a psychological symptom shown by a child, no, with IDA. They have an unusual eating habit that makes their body eat inedible things. Ibig sabihin, yung mga bagay na hindi naman pagkain. Because, no, there is a theory na itong mga to ay they are trying to find sources of iron. So, ano mga bagay na kinakain nila? Okay? So, madalas, no, mapapansin mo silang kumakain ng lupa, no? Minsan, plastic, okay? Makikita nyo rin silang kinakain yung pambura ng lapis, okay? Yung bakal na nagko-cover dun sa pambura ng lapis, yun, pwede yun, kinakain din nila. Barya, okay? Soap, paper, yun yung mga unusual things na napapansin sa batang may pika. Okay. For another overview of iron deficiency anemia, no? So we have different stages of iron depletion. Okay? Una muna sa lahat, no? Sa lahat ng compartments, ang unang maapektuhan ay yung storage compartment. Next naman, yung transport compartment. And lastly, yung functional compartment. So, sa stage 3 din makikita yung mga primary symptom of your IDA. Kasi yung functional compartment na yung naapektuhan or bumabagsak. Okay? Again, no, the functional compartment involves the hemoglobin. Okay? Na nasa RBC, which has a lot of biochemical processes. Kaya pag wala yan, doon mo na mapapansin yung mga signs and symptoms of IDA kapag nasa stage 3 na. No? In laboratory test, no, pwede mong ma-differentiate yung bawat stages. Again, balik tayo. Maunang babagsak si storage, then transport, and lastly, the functional. So, ito yung magiging basis mo, no, yung expected results ng mga laboratory test. Unahin natin yung stage 1. Dahil yung storage area pa lang naman ang nababawasan, no, expect mo dyan sa stage 1 na ang low levels mo ay ferritin pa lang. Okay? Sa stage 2 naman, transport compartment ang may in addition to the storage compartment, transport compartment din ay apektado na. So, makikita mo dyan, no? Bawas si ferritin, okay? Apektado si serum iron na nasa serum, okay? Di ba? Kapag nasa bloodstream, no, wala yan sa bone marrow. So therefore, nasa transport compartment yan. And increase si TIBC. Again, no, meron tayong rule, 'di ba? Na-discuss natin kanina, mababang iron, mataas na TIBC. Pag mataas ang iron, mababa ang TIBC mo. In this case, ay sa stage 2 iron depletion, mababa ang serum iron niya, kaya baligtad si TIBC. Okay? Sa stage 3 naman, on top of your storage and transport compartments, no? Bagsak na rin si functional compartment. Kaya dito mo pa lang makikita na ang hemoglobin mo ay bagsak kapag nasa stage 3 na. Okay, that is the last slide of this topic. Please visit the Canvas module tab and you will have a homework, no? Ang deadline niyan is September 1. So see you on our next face-to-face session.